Who's probably going to get that mail? Probably not the business owner. Maybe the business owner, but chances are not the business owner. Probably somebody that works there. And they're charged with bringing in money, right? So that message is perfectly suited for them. Okay? That's the big difference. It's the big mental shift. It's perfectly suited for them. So they get the message, and of course they fire back. Yes, we absolutely do. Check this out. So that mail, by the way, the other mail got less than a 1% reply rate, right? Dean's mail gets between a 40 and a 60% reply rate. You hear that? From 1% to 40 to 60%. That's a big difference. Okay? So imagine if you sent out 10 of these mails a day, you should get back 4 to 6 responses to the initial mail. So the next mail I call the first one the open. The second mail I call the conversation. So here's the second mail that goes out. Oh, great news. Could you handle 3 to 4 big weddings per month? Well, now that's not just cheese, that's a pile of cheese, right? So the person writes back, or the business owner writes, absolutely, we can absolutely do that, yada, yada, yada. Similar, now you're in a conversation and a dialogue with a customer. I hope you guys are starting to see how this is different, okay? The secret here is to be engaging, never to be deceptive. We've never said anything that's deceptive in any of this, and you can't do that because you have to maintain your integrity moving through the process, okay? So the last email that you're going to send them in the conversation, once you've gotten a response back, can you handle the 3 or 4 weddings a month? And almost all of them are going to say yes. The next thing back is the email I call the turn. And in the wedding business, I would ask well, what are your prices per head? Can you send me menu options? Do you carry liability insurance? Who's responsible for the cleanup? How far out will you go? What facilities will you service? We have an audio issue there all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's very odd.
I don't know what that is. Wow, I hope we can overcome that.
Well, we can always edit around it.
Yeah, okay. It seems like it went away. Okay, good. So the general idea of the turn mail, which is the third mail in a Cheese and Whiskers series, is to ask questions that only the business owner can answer. Because at this point, you may have been talking to a subordinate, you may have been talking to a hostess, you may have been talking to the restaurant manager, whatever. So what they're going to do is, once you get to this third part of the conversation, they're going to take this into the business owner and go, hey, I've got this guy that emailed us about asking if we do wedding catering. They asked if we could do 3 to 4 weddings a month, big weddings a month, and I told them yes. And now they're asking all these technical questions that I don't know the answers to. Well, here's what happens. The business owner rips the paper out of the employee's hand and says, oh yeah, I'll take care of this from here. Because it's in their best interest to do so. Now, remember, in this series, you've not told them that you're going to book a wedding with them. You've not told them anything. You've not made any promises. You've not pretended to be a consumer. You just ask questions. Okay? So, at this point, Cheese and Whiskers, here's what happens. You're going to put your contact information in there, by the way, and the last email, but only the last email. Say, hey, let me know the details. Here's all my contact information. The owner will call you or email you almost immediately. So imagine that. You send out 10 emails today. This email flurry may take 2 or 3 days, and you've got 4 or 5 business owners calling you asking what this is all about. And here's the 17-second pitch, okay, the famous 17-second pitch. When they call you up and say, hey, I'm calling you back, this is Bob at Vino's Restaurant, and I saw that you sent over some mails asking if we do wedding catering, if we can handle 3 or 4 months, you want a bunch of particulars, and what's this all about? And that's basically the way that conversation is going to go. And here's what you're going to say next. Yeah, I just wanted to know if you could handle the volume. Because I can make you, number one, for Tupelo Wedding Catering on Google by this time tomorrow, and you'll be swamped. So I wanted to know if you could handle the volume. And I know you've heard that sort of thing before, but I'm only going to charge you $20 to do this, and you can pay me after I make you number one. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, they're going to just jump on that.
Yeah, there's no way on earth they can say anything but, yeah, that sounds real fair. Okay, then you just set the appointment. Okay, and that's it. Now I'm going to tell you in a second what you're going to do at the appointment. Okay, and that's a very important part. But think about this versus the way you've been getting clients. Okay, you've been getting clients, if you've gotten any clients yet, by appointments, cold calling, relationships, making them promises that you hoped you could fulfill on, holding their hand for however many weeks until you could fulfill on, hoping the client doesn't blow up on you. Look at how much more awesome this is. Everything about it's better. You can send out 10 emails a day and engage 3 or 4 clients every day after the third day. So every single day, if you just follow this very simple system, you email 10 clients a day in a particular vertical. Once you know what the cheese is, and that's super important that you know exactly what the cheese is, like moving companies. You know, do you handle out of town relocations? Well, God, yeah, that's all they want to do. You know, so once you find that out, then it's real easy for you to go after those particular verticals. So let's say you get the appointment and you're ready to go out and see the person. I want you to ask them at the end of the thing, is that fair enough? Yes. So you want to engage my services? Yes, I do. All right. Well, that's great because I only really talk to my clients. I don't prospect and I don't go sell. So now that you're my client, I'll come out tomorrow and get you set up. Now, if you see what just happened there, that relationship is very, 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 very different. Okay? You've got a client now instead of having a prospect. So when you go to the appointment tomorrow, here's what you're going to do. Or let's say the appointment's tomorrow. Or maybe they're probably going to want to do it today if you can get out there, right? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to walk in the door and you're going to say, you're going to introduce yourself. The first thing I'd like for you to do is have one little letter of agreement, a little simple letter of agreement saying that, you know, hey, I've got a little letter of agreement saying that you're hiring me for $20 to get you, you know, to get you on the top of Google for Tupelo Wedding Catering. And if I don't deliver, you don't owe me nothing. Okay? Is that cool with you? Yeah. Okay, just sign this here because I only work with clients. I don't waste a lot of time with anyone else. I really only work with my clients. So and at the top of it, you could have client agreement. So what I'm really wanting you to do is shift that relationship you have that person to a client as quickly as you possibly can. I think you get that by now. Number one, because I coach a lot of these people, a lot of these local, a lot of the people that do local marketing, and the two reasons that I found the common denominators of why people weren't getting clients were, number one, they were trying to charge way too much money immediately. And without a track record and without the confidence to go do that, it shows through. You go in and ask somebody for $1,000 or $1,500 or even $500 on an initial meeting. If you're not confident and you don't exude that confidence that you know you're going to be able to deliver for them, it shows through, and it's very difficult. Plus, the fact is, they don't know you. You're walking in off the street, and you're one of a lot of other people that may be walking off the street saying, "Hey, give me $500 or give me $1,000." That's a giant risk for you to ask of your client before you've done anything for them or before they've gotten to know you. Secondly, the second big reason I saw people not getting clients was because they literally just were afraid to call on them because they had the fear of actually getting the client. You know, I don't know if, Laura, have you seen that? First of all, let's talk about PPC and why it's the answer. It really, just the long and short of it is, it delivers an immediate guaranteed result. So if you go out to your client today and promise that client to get them on the first page of Google by tomorrow, you can be absolutely 1,000% confident that you can do that. And that alone means a lot to the client getting system, because now when you go out to sell something, you know that you're going to be able to deliver the goods. And that's really the big giant piece of all this. You know, you walk in the door with the confidence in your chest stuck out that you know that, hey, if this client says yes, then I'm going to be able to do this. But you're not going to have to walk in the door. My whole idea here is that you don't walk in the door of any business that the person isn't already your client. Let me say that again. In other words, with this system, if you follow it correctly, you will never have to walk in the door of a business where the business owner is not already your client. And that's the real objective that we were trying to get across. And I'll explain how you do that in a second. The second big reason that PPC works so well is because